Welcome one, welcome all. And NFL Sunday is going to conclude here with a banger of a game tonight, Kurt. The reason why it's so good, it's your Tampa Bay Bucks, a team that you know a lot about here, going against the Cowboys in Dallas. This is an important game for the Bucks. Just retaining the potential 3-seed status is going to be a big deal in the NFC. You'll be able to avoid those Vikings who are almost locked in. I think they are locked in to be a 5-seed. It's them or the Lions, and they do play each other in week 18, believe it or not. So it should be a fun one. Kurt, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. I saw mommy kissing Kurt. Hell yeah, I wish. Shout out to all the moms out there. Had a little Christmas party. My son got to come and hang out with the family. So that was fun. The mojo is popping. You know, he just left. So now it's business. Time for business. You know, we got the Bucks playing tonight. We got a pass funnel team, and then who's played great defense lately. The Bucks defense they played great, which makes me I'm laddering Cooper Rush yards tonight. It's kind of a hedge for me because I feel like the only way the Dallas Cowboys beat us today is if he just passes all over us, because there's no way our defense can play 3 good games in a row. So I think Cowboys and Cooper are kind of prepared all week for that Todd Bowles blitz, like bring everything defense. I think they're ready to have hot reads, and I think they're going to actually tear us a new asshole. So I'm laddering Cooper Rush. Obviously, we're going to talk more about the passing game, maybe some cheap options we can go to, but Dallas Cowboys defense overall has been absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one thing I just got to mention, right? The biggest news is Cade Otton is going to be out for this, right? And so what that does, especially on DraftKings, there's a 200 option by the name of Payne Durham. You probably recognize him from his old days at Purdue. Was a very good DFS asset while he was there. He's a good tight end, too. Also backing him up will be Co Kieft. Basically, especially on DraftKings where he's 200, but on FanDuel he's 5K as well. So when you look at those two sites, you have a guy who's min-price, who's going to play a bunch at the tight end position and is a capable receiver. The one worry with Payne Durham, Kurt, is sometimes when we watch the Tampa Bay Bucks, you know, even at the beginning of the season, Cade Otton was even the 4th option at times, right? Behind Chris Godwin at the start of the season, Evans and McMillan. Here, he has a chance to still be the 4th or 5th option. I want to get into the meat and drink of that cheap, you know, Payne Durham, Co Kieft situation and what you would do to prioritize them on both maybe DraftKings and FanDuel.
Keefe, I can't play Keefe. I mean, it'd be a 1-yard catch touchdown, which I'm not going to like. I at least have to have some hope for some potential between the 20s like plays, and that's just not Keefe. He's out there to block. He could do like something in the flat in the goal line, but that's like playing that one guy on the Bills. So Quentin Moore or the other guy. But yeah, so no Keefe. I think even though we don't use the tight end much, there are at least some design plays, as we saw a lot with Otton. So, and Payne Durham can catch the ball. Like you said, we saw him do it in college all the time. So although he won't be a big focal point in the game plan, 2 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown is very live. Or maybe even like 4 for 40. Like it's not crazy to happen. Straight up a pedo mugshot. What is his mugshot on? Or is
yeah, I was about to pull that one up too. I wanted to see what Payne Durham mugshot looks like here. And this is also, good evening, Lycan, Andy, Broccoli Taco. Hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be a fun game, you know. And
oh my God,
the Payne Durham, is it that bad? There's no way it's that bad. Sure.
Porn stash.
Oh,
just kind of jumps out at you there.
It does jump out a little bit more than I would have thought. That mustache looked like it was dyed too. Looks like it was dyed brown. Anyway, this is a good one here. What projection do you have on these cheap tight ends? So on RPS projections wise, we have a projection of 5 on Payne Durham. I think that's right? Like even at Cade Otton's like worst days in Tampa, where he was kind of a forgotten piece, he was still 3-4K. He was still capable of getting 4 or 5 targets a game potentially. And I think that's what's going to be the most likely outcome for Payne Durham. 4 targets is what I would kind of ballpark him around for. What this slate needs is a cheap guy, though, because look, this mid-range, Jalen McMillan is 7K. That's a little bit inflated, right? Jalen McMillan, he did a great game last time out. Still, it's going to be very much kind of involved in scoring for him, right? He's not going to get there with just sheer volume. You have Mike Evans at 10-6, CD Lamb at 10-4, Baker Mayfield at 9-6. Like those are 3 of their strongest plays in the slate. Cooper Rush, Bucky Irving, Rico Dowdle in that next tier down. However, the mid-range is just McMillan, Rashad White, Brandon Cooks, and then it drops all the way down to Brandon Aubrey. So You don't really have a ton of mid-range here. I do think that this makes Payne Durham one of the better options on the entire slate, but so will everyone else, right? He's going to be chalky. I just like the build path that it creates. It's something that we will kind of prioritize, as we always do with the cheap 200 options on these showdown slates. Kurt, let's get to these quarterbacks here, right? Baker Mayfield, absolutely balling out this season. This is a surprising one, right? Like, I know that in cash games, our guy Bryce ranked Baker Mayfield as his top cash game option. In tournaments, he did like Mike Evans at captain as well. But I wanted to get your opinion if these guys are captain viable in tournaments, and if you would captain Cooper Rush at all, and just even in the flex. I think he's a very viable play tonight. What do you think?
Baker's been scrambling like crazy this year, man. Baker will get out there and take hits. He'll go for the goal line. So, yeah, I think Baker's definitely live for the captain spot. Cooper Rush, I'll be way overweight in the flex, I imagine, but I will not have him in the captain. I think there's too many, like Bucky Irving upside, Mike Evans upside, CeeDee Lamb upside. Just too much upside there for me to go Cooper Rush.
I agree with Cooper Rush not being captainable tonight because, look, if Cooper Rush is going to go off, it's going to be through CeeDee Lamb, you would think, right? CeeDee Lamb had a great game last time out. Cooper Rush is not going to get it done really on the ground. Baker Mayfield has that potential, right? He has that ability to kind of scramble a little bit, get there. He also has several guys he can target, right? What if Payne Durham caught a touchdown tonight? What if Mike Evans didn't get into the box, right? You have all these options for Baker Mayfield to potentially hit as the captain. To me, with Cooper Rush, not really at all. I know JBC isn't playing him at all in the captain tonight either. His favorite captain is CeeDee Lamb, closely followed by Mike Evans as well, which I think is very right. I think those two receivers, the easiest captains on the board for tournaments, because not only are they going to soak up the majority of the targets, they also have the highest upside here. But for me, I think both quarterbacks in your build, and it's very much unlocked by Payne Durham, right? Like, you can play Payne Durham and both quarterbacks and still have a ton of salary left over. That means you can get these wide receivers even at the captain position too. So I like playing both quarterbacks tonight. I don't know if I love them in the captain, right? Cooper Rush, definitely not. Baker Mayfield, maybe a splash. But Mike Evans and CeeDee Lamb will just dominate that part of that.
Yeah.
All right, running back time, Kurt. Let's go ahead and just do this. 8:05. We'll build the same game parlay out as well. That's something that we will do.
And I'm in a state where we can do it, baby.
Oh, okay. Are you Kentucky right now?
I'm in Dub B.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
could have
been a rock throw. Could have been a rock throw away from you. But Kurt, tell me about
Christmas. So shout out Lexington.
Yeah, Lexington, Louisville, same thing. One has a better basketball program, I heard. We have Bucky Irving, who has been one of the better rushers this season. Here's a stat for you, Kurt. The Cowboys, the fourth worst team against the run this season, giving up over 136 yards per game. You also have to look at it this way. I didn't mention this about Cooper Rush. The Cowboys have also been very bad against the pass. They are 21st against the pass. The key thing about the Bucs defense, you mentioned it early, it's a pass funnel. 11th against the run with 109 yards per game allowed, but they are 30th against the pass. So Rico Dowdle tonight, despite commanding the entirety of this backfield almost, right? Zeke is a forgotten figure in this backfield. You have Rico Dowdle, who, your Fortnite guy, your duo's partner, some would say.
My guy.
An absolute legend at Run Pure Sports. They what is that? That's stuff of the
Bruce got a win. I think so. Bruce's first win was with Rico. It's a funny thing. He carried me so many times, but Bruce's first win was Rico. So Rico popped a sherry. Funny because the Dallas Cowboys got too.
Yeah, so we got the inside scoop tonight, maybe potentially Rico Dowdle game. But in this spot though,
I hit him up the other day and I was like, "Are you playing now that OG's back?" And he's like, "No, I'm not playing that shit. He's playing only COD."
It's a shame.
Rico is not a Fortnite guy anymore. Does that mean we faded?
I mean, that means I'm fading. If you're not playing OG Fortnite,
come on, Rico. I'm not
the real reason for the fade, though, is it's a very tough spot, right? I already mentioned I really like the receivers. I really like the quarterbacks. There's got to be a guy you leave out. And Rico Dowdle's 9,400. The Bucs, very solid against the run, very, very bad against the pass. I get the volume, right? I get that. But I'd rather have Bucky Irving going against this terrible, terrible run defense. And hopefully he tears it up in that same range. I mean, I would take Rico Dowdle straight up over Rachaad White, but the pricing doesn't work like that, right? Like Rico is, over 9K, which is a fair price, but something that we just aren't really used to seeing. Bucky Irving for me is my number one, Kurt, going against this Cowboys defense, who is your top 2 running backs tonight? I mean, I guess your top 2 would be obvious, but who's your favorite one tonight?
Look, CD, Mike, Bucky, one of those 3 guys is going for 30. I don't make the rules, people. One of those 3 guys is going to take a big old hot stinky dump on this slate. I don't make the rules. That's just what's going to happen. These guys are too talented. These defenses are too bad at stopping what those guys are good at. Injury could stop them. Okay, so if someone snaps their leg, it's not my fault. But one of those 3 guys is going to go ham. That's what makes it kind of hard to captain Baker. But I could see Baker running one in and throwing like 2 to Mike. So I won't rule it out. But I hammering those guys. Bucky he's been like our guy now. Sean Tucker had a chance to get the goal line roll for us. Yep. He fumbled the very first game, the very first carry we gave him that role to because we wanted him to have like a part in the offense, and he fumbled his first carry there at New York off the bye. So Bucky's our guy. And then Rachaad White comes in on passing downs and just to kind of spell Bucky. And we know we have to win tonight. I know Bucky probably doesn't feel great. He's a little banged up. We have to run Bucky. We need him. You can just tell a difference in the offense when we don't have him. We're very stagnant. The guy just makes something out of nothing almost every time.
That's well put, Kurt. I mean, he does make something out of nothing quite a bit.
I think he's going to be a top 5 running back next year. He'll be maybe top 3. The guy
the concern with Bucky is the split, right? I mean, that's the number one concern with Bucky Irving is that they split his carries with Rachaad White. Sean Tucker gets slightly involved, but you're right. Sean Tucker had a mistake, recently. Rachaad White clearly isn't the guy at this point. Bucky Irving's going to command more than half the carries at this rate, right? He's going to command much more than that. I'm with you. I think Bucky is just going to win that role. He already kind of has won that role, but going into next season, he's going to be one of the best fantasy running backs overall. He's able, he's capable in the passing game. He's capable in the running game as well. I just like his versatility. I think he can do it all. And again, this is one of the best defenses to go against if you're a running back. Bucky's my guy. It sounds like you're in agreement too. You'd rather have Bucky straight up over Rico Dowdle on this slate, correct?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, Rico. I love you.
Not if he's not playing OG for it, which, by the way, I'm washed at. These little kids, I don't know, man. The game's changed. This is beyond.
Why can't we just get in just even people, which for me would be the worst people on the game, which would just be the bots. So they took those away, so I'm screwed. But I don't know. But don't just wish you knew 99 friends just kind of get in there, like me and 99 and the boys.
Anything but the current crop of kids I'm going against. But it's tough knowing that there's probably a 10-year-old out there who kills me every single game. And I can't do anything about it. No. But we'll go on to wide receivers here. Kurt, Mike Evans, CD Lamb, the clear top 2 tonight. I think they're the 2 top captains as well. I also have to look at Jalen McMillan. Did very well last week. Got onto the score sheet, 5 for 75, I believe it was. And he also had he's been really kind of asserting himself over the last 2-3 weeks, even where he's just the clear guy now behind Mike Evans. The big thing for me on this Cowboys side is I don't really know what to expect behind CD Lamb. Brandon Cooks is fine, right? But he's 6,600. He's not even the clear de facto number 2 receiver in that offense. Jalen Tolbert's 4K, but really he's kind of being forgotten about in this offense as well. He can be a factor sometimes. Some games he's not. The only guy who's like really stepping up and making plays is Kevontae Turpin. I mean, I like him as a tournament option at 3K, and he's also in the same ballpark as Sterling Shepard, who projects really well at 3,400. Go ahead and give me your breakdown of these wide receiver rooms here, Kurt.
It's tough because you just want to be like, ooh, gross, give me CD and Ferguson, kind of move on. But for this pass funnel, you just can't do that. Like some of the Cooks, I hate playing Cooks, but Cooks, Turpin, Tolbert, they all have a chance to honestly get like 16 and be optimal. So we have to make the decision. Cooks has been doing nothing but like scoring touchdowns. It's kind of like Westbrook Akini, where he's just scoring touchdowns but not long ones. But him and McMillan's been awesome. He's been stepping up for us lately. I don't like him today at all. I just think he's too expensive. Maybe we just take a shot on like Turpin or Tolbert. Whereas Tolbert, has his snaps still been the same?
It's been kind of fluctuating a little bit. So when I go to NFL Pro, the one thing that you'll notice is that these snaps, since we saw, the Cowboys get Brandon Cooks back, Tolbert was kind of maintaining it, right? Then he was super chalk on a showdown slate. I want to say it was a couple games ago where he just dudded, right? And you kind of just get into your mind here. Despite it being a pass funnel, what does this offense really prioritize? And it felt like they were trying to create touches for guys like Devontae Turpin. Even in the game that Lamb got hurt, Tolbert didn't really do anything. So let's go back to week 15 real quick, all right? Here's the routes ran. Cooks actually led the team with 27, but then it was CeeDee Lamb at 26, and then Tolbert was all the way down at 14. Turpin, in comparison, had 7 routes, which, again, this is not like exactly promising. They were in the lead. Was that the game against the Giants, right? They were in the lead for a majority of that game, so they didn't have to really chase or, dig deep into their bag. No, that wasn't against the Giants. Who was it? The Cowboys schedule.
Carolina last week? Oh, when Cooks first came back?
No. Who did the Cowboys play last week?
Carolina.
Panthers. Yeah, you're right. 30-14 wins. So this wasn't like they were having to drop back and throw a ton. It did seem like a lot of their formation was just Cooks, Lamb, Dowdle, and Ferguson in there. But at the same time, Tolbert snaps dipping to about a 50% rate on the routes. Not exactly promising. And I'd rather take my chances on a guy like Turpin in a game like this. And even Ferguson. Like, let's bring in these tight ends here, Kurt. The tight ends are just much better at 4,800. Like, I can get Jake Ferguson, who I know is going to be out there on the field almost all the time. He's only 4,800. You just look at price comparison here. He is by far a better play than Jalen Tolbert tonight. Jalen Tolbert's 4K. He's running not even as many routes as Jake Ferguson, but you also know Ferguson's talent alone at 4,800. And the tight ends are going to be chalky tonight. You go look at Payne Durham. He'll command a lot of ownership. Jake Ferguson will command a lot of ownership. And really, these wide receivers, especially on the Cowboys side, will kind of be overlooked. Sterling Shepard will be owned a little bit. But, man, it gets messy after Evans and Lamb. Anything else to add?
I'm jammed. I mean, Ferguson, I don't want to play this game with these receivers. I know, I'm going to have to mix them in a little bit, but I'm prioritizing Ferguson. If you're only one or two, it's Ferguson and Lamb, rush, find a way to jam it all in and kind of move on. Pretty simple. I'm probably going to be duped a lot, depending on what Durham's. What's Durham's ownership coming in at? I love Aubrey. We've not got there yet, though.
I want to ask you, Ferguson or Aubrey?
That is a great question. I think it would depend on how your line is built out. What would you say? Can you tell us,
Ferguson? I like Aubrey. Don't get me wrong.
I think Aubrey has a ceiling here. I think Ferguson, I know Ferguson does too, but damn, I wouldn't be surprised if Aubrey puts up 15. It's a Tampa 2 defense, basically.
So
Bender don't break.
Real quick, to answer your question on Durham, about 20% ownership, right? And that does seem low right off the rip, right? You're hearing Payne Durham, best value on the slate, 20%. But at the same time, a lot of those builds very much funnel toward the same range.
Exactly.
Right? So it's especially if you're, entering more than 20 lineups, right? It's very tough to differentiate with a guy at 200 than it is with a bunch of mid-range pieces. It is how many guys do you have in there who are capable of, outperforming Payne Durham in that range? And really the reality of it is not many. Durham's a clear play for me, especially in single entry and cash games and stuff. He's going to be the best play. As far as large field tournaments go, 20%, he might get up to 30, but he's not going to get that high up there. But like you said, if you're playing Ferguson, if you're playing Durham, if you're playing both receivers, both quarterbacks, whoa, you have a very chalky lineup there. Not that that's possible or anything like that, but you can get very close to that type of build, and that's the best build tonight. If you're building just single entries, I have to beat that build. Ferguson's my guy over Aubrey, though. We have BG3 asking this question as well. I was debating it. Look, I played Aubrey a ton against the Bengals, and he was fine. But you just take the clear tight end one on a team in a pass funnel situation like the Cowboys are. Cooper Rush probably will look Jake Ferguson's way 7 to 8 times tonight. Right? If you were just looking at targets, let's go ahead and see what SaberSim kind of has for our guy Jake Ferguson. The targets are going to be there for Jake Ferguson. So here, targets-wise, SaberSim is projecting, doesn't look like they have anything other than receptions right now. About 4.3 receptions in this spot, in the Sims for Jake Ferguson. It's Ferguson over Aubrey. That's it.
Yeah, I don't answer. I'm going to go Ferguson over Aubrey. But, man, I like Aubrey tonight. I'm telling you, Ruby, I think this could be one of his big, big games. Especially, was it who did the free kick thing? It was the Chargers. You don't think the freaking Cowboys saw that and be like, oh, hey, I don't know. We have the strongest leg in the league. Let's maybe See if we have a chance to do that. And you know Todd Bowles' pussy ass is going to punt with 0 seconds left. I hope the opportunity comes up today.
You realize how rare that is? That was such a really.
You know how many times I've seen punts with 0 seconds?
It's so rare. It is so rare. I genuinely.
All the
teams know the rule. All the teams know the rule. McCarthy's been in the league for a long time. Like, he knows that rule. Trust me. I bet it's been in the back of his head for a long time.
How did Belichick not do it? How did Belichick not ever get that? There's no way Belichick never got that opportunity.
He did. He did have the opportunity.
He didn't do it?
No, I think he did. I know Harbaugh in San Francisco is when I learned about the rule. That was like over a decade ago. Don Push P. I would go both quarterbacks in single entry tonight, to be honest. And if I was fading one, it would be Cooper Rush, but I'd make sure I'd have Lamb to kind of counter that. Because if the Cowboys are going to move the ball, it's going to be through the air. This is a good one, just straight up, right? McMillan or Jake Ferguson captain, Mary Ferguson.
I mean, I guess
straight up, like their projections are very close.
It's crazy because there's so much different. I'm going probably Mary.
Yeah,
that's a good way to get unique easy. I'm going to build that out. Leave the salary. Like, do McMillan captain lineup. Just put Ferguson in there and leave the salary. Call it a day.
So my take on the Thursday game, which was the Broncos and Chargers, was it was the easiest slate of the entire season to leave salary. Today, it's much tougher. And by tougher, I mean, look, if I'm playing Payne Durham and stuff, I have all these studs. There's not a huge mid-range. Like, it is very tough to leave extensive salary here unless, like, maybe you're trying just to get the top scorer from a guy like Jake Ferguson, which is tough, but it's possible. I look at this slate, Kurt, as a slate where it's just very tough to get different. And if you are getting different, if you're fading like a guy like Durham and you're trying to get away from that, what it would be is these receivers. It would take a guy like Turpin. Maybe he gets more than 33% of the work in the passing game today, right? Maybe Sterling Shepard steps up, which he's going to be kind of chalky, but like, I'm struggling to find where I can get different on and still be.
I just built that lineup that I just said. Well, I mean, it didn't really completely fit with McMillan at captain, but I put in Ferguson over McMillan, and it has Durham, and I'm leaving 3,000, but let's just pretend Durham's 3,200, and Durham gets like 2 catches, 16 yards, and a tud. That's fine for 3K, and it has everyone I want.
The problem is you have to ask yourself, because I'm pretty sure you're in the range of CeeDee Lamb can outscore him. Mike Evans can outscore him.
Bucky, Lamb, or Mike to not go crazy, which I think is going to happen. But I'm running enough to where I'm going to try it. My main 3 are going to have Bucky, CD, Mike at captain. But I am going to try this lineup. Lead 3K.
I like it. Kickers and defenses. You like Aubrey tonight. Tell me why.
Bend but don't break. They do not they don't let you run on them. They'll let you do dink and dunk passes until you get enough incompletions. It's just what they are. There's a reason why they give up a lot of field goals. We're in a dome. He's got a monster leg. Like 2 passes can get you in field goal range against the Bucs with this D. Yep. So pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
200.
How good is that gum, Kurt? How good is that gum?
Is it loud? It's so good, bro. I chew gum like crazy. I'm a big gum guy.
It's very noticeable. I'll say that.
Not bad.
Okay. Let's talk about this. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
That's a good one.
You want some, Joe? Joe, I'll ship you some for the low. Allegedly.
Do you like Chase McLaughlin at all then? Or do you? I know you like Aubrey straight up more, but like McLaughlin, like this is something.
Here's the thing, he doesn't need 20. Like the guy is legit Barry Sanders mixed with like God. That's what I think of. He doesn't need 20. I mean, if you guys watch this guy play, I feel like I'm the only one that's like jizzing over him. He is amazing. Slobbing on it. I don't think he needs 20. Where was I talking? I was talking about something else. Chase. I don't know, man. Like Todd is a pussy, kind of. What do you? I don't. Chase doesn't have Chase has been awesome, but he doesn't have that monster leg that Aubrey does. So like, I want a chance. I kind of want to play a guy with. Oh, he might hit a 60-yarder. Chase doesn't hit a 60-yarder. At least I know it's in the realm of possibility that Aubrey can hit a 60-yarder. You're on mute, though. Oh, you're on mute. Oh, you hate to see it.
Huh? I tried to catch myself. Aubrey's got the leg for sure over McLaughlin. Defense-wise, which one would you play? I wouldn't touch this Cowboys defense, to be quite honest. I would consider the Bucs defense, though.
We have been really good lately. What if we do come out here and play good again? And the Cowboys have sucked at home. Cooper could definitely. How much is the Bucs D?
The Bucs defense on this slate was about 4.4.
Yeah, I don't mind. Bucky captain.
Bucky captain, Bucs D.
Let me see how it fits.
Yeah,
I mean, you could do Mike captain, but I think Bucs D is. I think they're playable.
Yeah, I mean,
Mary Ferguson like $400 more though.
Yeah, I mean that's the issue. You'd prefer the tight end straight up, without a doubt. All right, let's go ahead and just jump into our parlay here, our props. Let's go ahead and get into that. Ask some questions as well. If you guys are considering going anyone on the slate, we have a 1v1 or a 2v2. We'd be happy to answer them. We're going to go ahead and get into the same game parlay. There's a boost.
I'm signing in.
Wait for me. All right, Kurt. Are we going Bucky over rushing yards?
Oh, makes you want a starburst. What are you laughing at? You're Mr. Candy. You be eating candy nonstop when you came down here. You stay eating candy. Big candy guy.
I did notice my fiance got me some gummy bears upstairs, so I will be having some Haribo gummy bears after the show. Bucky Irving, 61.5 rushing yards, Kurt.
How about 161? No, yeah. I like that a lot.
61.5 over for Bucky Irving on the first one here. Kurt, let's go ahead and just dig in on these potential wide receiver scenarios. All right. I like Mike Evans tonight. Do you like Mike Evans tonight? Do we want to stack up, the Bucky Irving with a touchdown potentially as well? What's your thought on going this second leg? Oh, on DraftKings, that moved to 65.5 for Bucky Irving. But that's fine.
I just put 60
over the rushing yards. Do you want to do a touchdown for Bucky?
I don't. Let's see if we need it. Let's see if we need it. Let's wait. It could be like the last leg, but let's see if we need it. I think so. Mike needs to be on pace for like 80 yards a game. So let's do 80 plus for Mike. Is that crazy? Actually, we can do Oh, what's 80 plus?
80 is minus 155. 84.5 is minus 130. It's not the greatest. I'll be quite honest. I think I'd rather have CD Lamb 74.5 on the over.
I like that. Wait,
let's do that.
I kind of like CD receptions.
What's CD reception? 6.5. I think the yards are a little bit better. Less juice.
Okay. What are we doing?
All right. CeeDee Lamb over 74.5 receiving yards. Bucky Irving over 65.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
All right. Then let's go down. Let's kind of go down the list here, Kurt. I got Turpin. I got God.
Oh, okay. So we didn't do CD receptions. Can we do Mary Ferguson receptions?
Yeah, we can do that. 3.5. Get 4 receptions.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Do that. I'm at plus 380 right now. Okay. Plus 380. Do you want to rifle anyone else?
I like Cooper Rush yards. I'll say it.
Okay, so we're going to correlate pretty heavily now, which is fine. Juice.
No, it's anti-correlate. I'm just kidding.
236.5. So now we're sitting at plus 525 with the boost. We'd be sitting at plus 630. If I add in that Bucky boost, we would definitely get to about 10-1. With the boost, we would get 2 plus 1080. We'd be at plus 900.
What about this? What do you think about this? That pass rush?
So this is interesting. We don't got to. I like this kind of shot from VIP. He doesn't like Cooper Rush tonight. He's the big Cowboys representative as well. Let's get off the Cooper Rush over. All right, let's get off that.
I'm still going to ladder it on a separate bet, but okay.
Okay, well, let's replace it with
known pass funnel hater. Okay,
let's replace it with Baker Mayfield rushing yards. Hit the over under on it, Kurt. 14.5. Do you like it,
Mr. McCaskill?
Did you like the over 14.5?
I got freaking dynamic odds. Where are you seeing this?
What do you mean?
I see it. Is it down here?
Yeah, you have to scroll way down on DraftKings to see some of these stats now.
I found it. Okay. Yeah,
He's
14 and a half.
this number in just one of his past 3, 2 of his past 5. It's okay. I mean, do you like it or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think okay. So let's pull up their last couple games. We had the Giants three weeks ago. Then we had the Raiders, who without Crosby. Look at the games he did when he plays against actual teams that pass rush. When he has to get out and move.
So Chargers last game, 2 for 25. You got Bosa in the mix there.
Boom. And
Mac as well. Las Vegas with Crosby, if you want to consider that.
Crosby didn't play.
Okay, so he was out. 2 for 12. Carolina, no pass rush. New York Giants have a pass rush, 4 for 29. San Francisco, 3 for 3, though. Only 3 yards rushing.
Bosa, no, that was when they were depleted.
Chiefs, he did 4 for 20 as well. Do you want to click that? Because it gets us to a decent number. All right, over 14.5 rushing yards. Let's do it. Bucky Irving. So we're at plus 900 with the boost. Bucky Irving touchdown or no? We need to add a touchdown. We do. Bucky touchdown plus 1440. You got a 20% boost on DraftKings. So it goes from 12 to 1 to 14.4 to 1. Here's the same game parlay one more time. Over 65.5 rushing yards for Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving anytime touchdown. Over 14.5 Baker Mayfield rushing yards. Over 3.5 Jake Ferguson receptions. And then over 74.5 CeeDee Lamb yards receiving. That's good enough for me, Kurt. I like it. We also have a question in the chat. John Knowlton asks, you like double kicker tonight? Not really, just because Ferguson's in that same price range. I don't mind it, though, if you landed on that. It's just not something I really, really want to do. And Payne Durham kind of separates that build where I really don't have to go that route. Payne Durham, though, is the tight end that we definitely prefer here. Much better receiver in the tight end room. The Winter Soldier is the optimal captain. Who's the Winter Soldier?
The Winter Soldier is the optimal captain.
Who is it?
CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson. Help us, CW. Who is it?
Winter Soldier, NFL. Oh, Bucky?
Bucky's the winner. I'm a Bucs fan. That's bad. I had no idea we called him the Winter Soldier. Well, I mean, never in my life. Bucky.
But, apparently it's Josh Allen, too. But it could be, I think I saw a name, Winter
When
Soldier.
When calling Bucky Irving that?
Bucky Barnes, comic book character, Bucky Barnes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. CW89 got it.
What a dope.
You mentioned it. Yeah, that's a good reference. I like that. Captain America? Okay, that makes sense. Joe Ruff, CW, they got that one easy. Apparently, we missed that demographically. All right, Andrew Martinez. Who's the captain in SE? For me, Mike Evans.
CD's nuts.
I think Evans or CeeDee Lamb would be the two guys I would prioritize in the captain slot. Mike Evans is my preferred one here tonight. All right. 11 minutes to go. We'd head out at 8:15 if no one asks questions, but absolutely ask questions here. We would be glad to answer them. Cooper is getting demolished. I mean, look, Bucs defense won't be owned at all tonight. So if you think that, that's got some good conviction, I don't mind that. I mean, we have seen this Cowboys team absolutely struggle at times. Cooper Rush can be a little bit erratic at times as well. I don't mind it, and it gets you a little bit different. Again, it's tough to get different, especially if you're playing Payne Durham tonight, but it's also a very tough lineup to beat straight up on its own. So something wacky happening or Cooper Rush getting, picked off for 6 would absolutely impact the slate.
I want to say Lamb. What do you think?
According to SaberStep, the higher owned captain here, Kurt, they're almost dead even. They're almost dead even. I would say Evans, and you just go Evans, or you assume Evans because they are favored. So it would be Evans for me.
Baker captain, such good leverage then. Damn.
Baker captain is pretty chalky itself.
That's the way to get different with Durham. Oh, yeah. What we got going here? Boom. I'm playing the shit out of Aubrey tonight. I'm going to leave Saturday and play some Mary Ferguson. Mary, can you hear me? Oh,
I mean, this Duke Fest tonight is going to be.
I'm leaving 1,000. I just made a line about love. I love 1,000. I don't know what you're talking about. You're on crack. I think you can leave a little bit. It's because Mary Ferguson is so freaking cheap. I think he should be like $7K. And I think Durham should be like $3K. or 2.5K. When you add that into this stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mary Ferguson should be 6K, but God forbid they ever put anyone 6K. They're like, oh, can't do it. Eat my dick, DraftKings, respectfully.
Bucky Irving or Cooper Rush, Kurt?
Man, I am laddering Cooper Rush, but I gotta play Bucky. Bucky's my guy. My guy. What about Rashad White? No mentions of Rashad White on the show besides earlier. I'm not playing him, but
that would get you different.
What if Dallas gets up early or something? 2 minutes.
Still would be Bucky almost. I still think it's like a clean split.
I wish he was cheaper.
Yeah. See here, Kurt. Bucky. Sterling Shepard. Here we go. What tight end will replace Otten? Real quick. That's Payne Durham. We expect him. Keith to block. Payne Durham will be your receiving tight end there. Sterling Shepard's a good play. 3,400 is commanding a little bit of ownership. Projects really well down in that range. As of right now, he is projected for over 30% ownership. It's good. He's going to run the slot for most of the game. The Cowboys are, I believe you target the slot against them. No, you target running backs. Against the Bucs, you do target the slot, though. But yeah, Sterling Shepard's a good click tonight. Any questions? Rifle them home. If not, we'll head out of here at 8:15. Which way are 4-2 or 3-3? And in favor of which team? 4-2 Bucks is my preferred build. 3-3 though is just.
I definitely pee in the snow.
Like,
What is Easy saying? What do you think this means?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he means by that.
Who's going to ladder Cooper Rush with me? VIP? No?
VIP is hitting the under on Cooper Rush.
I would love if he does, but I don't think our defense is that good.
Did Trey Palmer wake up?
Bro, so what's the deal with Perry? I want to play him today, but like, what's the snaps review? What was the snaps last game? I didn't see him out there.
The snaps for Trey Palmer last game for the Tampa Bay Bucs were low. Here's how it broke down for this room. Mike Evans, Cade Otton, Jalen McMillan ran all 24 routes possible, it looked. Sterling Shepard, 19. Rashad White, 13. And then, look, Trey Palmer only ran 5 routes last week. Not great. That was behind Payne Durham, who also ran 5. But he is ahead of Raheem Jarrett and Ryan Miller in the pecking order, it looks. Trey Palmer, it's tough. It's tough to be viable for here. Ferguson or kicker, McLaughlin, last man in. Ferguson for me.
Mary Ferguson.
I think it's Ferguson for both of us, too.
He hasn't woke up, it seems. Yeah, he's just been asleep.
CM Los, Ferguson here over Aubrey. It's close. Kurt likes Aubrey a ton, but Ferguson's floor is just going to be very much there, and the upside is much better than a kicker as well. Jim Parrish asks, would you play defenses today? I mean, it's okay. I like the Bucs defense. Like Kurt said, 4,400 is a tall tag. It's right next to the kickers. It's right next to Jake Ferguson. Look, if you want to get different, the defenses are a good way for that. And I've already talked about how easy it is to funnel with everyone else, how easy it is going to be to dupe with everyone. But if you play a 13, 14% on defense like the Bucs tonight, that's fine. I don't mind a 5-1 even. Maybe Lamb's your only Cowboy with the Bucs defense there. I mean, SaberSim does push that quite often. You know, if you're playing like 5-1, it just rifles in a single entry, and it'll have like, $5 with the Bucs defense in there as well. So I don't mind it. It's just be prepared for all those other guys around them to do really well, and that's what sucks. Mario Donese, 5-1 or 4-2. I prefer a 4-2, but I'm not opposed to 5-1 Bucs. I would not go 5-1 Cowboys at all. The Bucs, I do believe, put up some points tonight. All right, keep the questions coming.
Feed me.
Kurt, who wins? What's the score?
Cowboys 28-27.
You're taking the Cow. You're just trying to reverse jinx your Bucs. Just trying to reverse jinx. Bucks 31, Cowboys 20. What do you fade, Ferguson? Look, I mean, it's fine to do. It's not something that I'm going to get excited to do. Ferguson is in my main lineup. So I would say the answer for me personally, no. But if you're doing multiple lineups, it's okay. But I really like him in single entry. If you're fading him, make sure. I mean, I guess if you're fading him, like you're fading a 40% owned guy potentially. So I mean, it's not the worst idea. It's just he's such a good click. He should be 1 to 2K higher than he currently is. Our guy, easy money. Bengals making the playoffs. You know that's not going to happen. Not after the 49ers blew it against the Dolphins here tonight. And then you also had the Colts win. Like, the Bengals are going to beat the Broncos next week, without a doubt in my mind, at home against Denver. They're going to win. They're going to bring us to week 18, and it's going to fall flat because either the Colts or Dolphins are going to win out, or hell, the Chiefs might lose to the Broncos themselves in week 18. So I don't think it's going to happen. The pessimistic view will protect me from getting any hope, though. Dallas will lose. Micah's sick and they're eliminated from the playoffs. They're going to check out. Very much possible. There's no reason for them to win, but hey, I think they're all playing for their contracts and stuff. But yeah, it is definitely one of those things where we haven't noticed a terrible Cowboys team at times. They have looked much better though over the last couple of weeks.
What?
Oh, just wait until Lamar chokes in the playoffs. Just wait for the Lamar to choke. I'll be here. I'll be here. I can't say anything to Steelers or Ravens fans, right? Like they have all the leverage in the world. You know, I cannot. I'm gonna do it.
The defense is just so bad.
The playoffs yesterday. The Steelers did.
Here we go with a loss.
No, I'm making stuff up. They did clinch. I think they might have already clinched yesterday though. But yeah, they are.
I bet him, and I reverse jinxed him yesterday.
MVP frontrunner after that Josh disaster today. During the fourth quarter of that game, Josh Allen was still minus 600 in the MVP race, which I was shocked by. Easy money. So I didn't mind if you sprinkle. I think Lamar was plus 425. Isn't Dallas eliminated already? Yes, they're playing for a draft pick at this moment now, right? Like that's basically all they're going for, 6 and 8. It's going to be tough for them to fall through the pecking order too. I mean, it's a lot of bad teams below at 4 or 5, even 6 wins. They're tied with the 49ers in the win column right now. But you go to the AFC, every team below the Bengals has 4 wins or less, which is 6 teams. Jets, Browns, Jags, Titans, Raiders, Patriots. The Cowboys are not going to get a top 10 pick no matter what. So, I mean, yeah, I think they're going to play just fine. But
yeah, Cowboys versus Bucks live. NFL. Oh,
they did get officially eliminated. Who ended up winning yesterday that caused them to be officially eliminated? Or it might have been today. No, it was last week.
The Broncos won. Did officially eliminate the Bengals?
No. The Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys?
I felt like they got officially eliminated at some point.
The Bengals need the Broncos to lose out, right?
The Bengals need the Broncos to lose out. The Dolphins and Colts to also lose 1 game apiece or more. So, not likely. No basketball teams through. I did not have a good day today. I thought I had a chance with the one team that I had, but my receivers fell completely flat. So not great. But yes, easy money, second place. That is tough. It is going to be a no best ball season of nothing into the final there. So it's going to be a tough watch for me.
Go too easy.
CD and Rush over Bucky and Dow. I agree.
God, Puka was hurtful today. I think I lost my fantasy matchup because of him.
I like it, DC Chavez. It's different. Schoonmaker is going to be different tonight. Thanks, guys. Yep, Kevin, hope you have a great rest of your day. Great job coaching the team to victory as well. Yeah, Vikings did well. And Puka, I know. The Jets defense finally showed up to what we kind of expected coming into the year. How do you feel about playing 40 lineups each? I mean, like 40 lineups each. I'm trying to think what was the previous question that prompted that. Play any defenses today from you? I know you said that earlier. Like, if you're playing 40 lineups and stuff, like I'm getting a hefty amount of Ferguson, 60-something% here. I'm getting almost all Payne Durham.
I was working Winners Live, NFLCBS.com.
Oh, did we get a spam? Oh, we did. I'm on it. All right, guys. A couple more weeks of this show. It is already week 16. We have 2 more, week 17 and week 18. So we'll be here the next couple weeks. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of y'all's day. Easy Money gets the last jab. Again,
that was good.
I'll be on the show in 3 weeks once Lamar and the Ravens choke in round 1 of the playoffs. Have a good one, y'all. And from Kurt and I, bye-bye.